Good afternoon. It's Monday. I'm ClareTM and you are watching ClareTM TV. And it's Motivational Monday. Absolutely amazing to be here with you today. And what a weird day we've got going on out there. A minute ago it was snowing, then the sun was glaring in my eyes. Now it's kind of looking a bit black and like it's going to do a lot of snowing without so much sun any minute. I wanted to talk to you today about International Women because I'm carrying on the theme from Friday, and as on Friday it was International Women's Day. I wanted to share with you, to inspire you today, the women that inspire me in my life. And I'm really lucky that I've got quite a few of those. And what amazing women they are. So let's start with the first one that inspires me greatly. Her name is Judymay Murphy. I am currently coaching with her on her mastermind program, which is just phenomenal. I'm seriously getting my butt kicked in a great way. But Judymay, for me, is a really inspiring person because she practices what she preaches. And also, she understands that it can be difficult in business because right now you could be having a really hard time in your business and things might not be going for you really the way that you wanted them to. And we can get challenged when that happens, can't we? You know, the devil comes in and starts saying, well, you know, you can't do this and you need to do something else. But what I want you to think about with the theme of all the people I'm going to talk to you about is, how much is your focus bouncing? Does the universe have any idea what it is that you actually want? Because if it doesn't, it's probably because you're not being very clear with your message. Now, I can say this from a real place of power, because for a long time, I totally believed in the universe, but let's face it, the things that I really wanted just weren't happening. And when I stepped back and I took some time, remember that thing that I always go on about, taking some time? Well, I realised that it's because I wasn't being consistent with my message. And this is the same issue for so many people. It's about consistency. And it's one of the things that Judymay really hones down to me, that we really need to be consistent and we really need to keep on top of our game. Now, this is a lady, again, that can say it from a place of power. You know, she struggled initially in her business and then it took a few years, but eventually she got there. And now she's rocking it out, coaching some of the most amazing people on the planet. And you can do that too in your business. Because then we move on to another lady that seriously inspires me, and that is Forleo. Marie, you doll, man. You absolutely remind me a huge amount of myself in that you are crazy nuts. But you've also got tenacity because you decided that you were never going to give up and that you were going to keep going until you absolutely got what you wanted. And when I listen to Marie's story, it really inspires me because Marie used to record videos like this. Now she has these amazing videos that I watch every single week myself. But she started off a little bit like me in front of her computer, just getting her message out there. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. Whatever you think is not possible and whatever it is that you're holding yourself back from and saying, I'm not good enough to do, just do it, in the words of Nike, because what have you got to lose? For most of us, there's very little that we've got to lose, but we convince ourselves that we can't do these things. That then brings me on to one of the latest people that's inspired me, which is an amazing lady called Gabby Bernstein. Now, Gabrielle was actually in London at the weekend, and I was gutted that I actually, due to prior commitments, couldn't make it to her event. Because I've been reading her book, Makers Miracles. And if you haven't come across it yet and you haven't read it yet, I would highly recommend that you do. Because it's a great book. And even I had got a few little fears left in the background there. I was letting the ego overtake. And I was letting all of these things really get to me in a way that I absolutely didn't need to. And doing the work with Gabrielle, following the daily practices and affirming to myself that I wasn't what my subconscious was leading me to believe that I was, that I'm an amazing person. I'd got a couple of little things that were still just hanging around there in the background that were really stopping me from moving on in certain parts of my life. And I've just done it again there. Sorry if you sort of lost me for a second, but my screensaver decided to jump up. Anyway, I digress. So it was holding me back. It was stopping me from doing certain things in my life. And I actually really knew that it was doing that, but I was allowing it to happen anyway. Well, the daily practice and the work with Gabrielle totally nailed those issues, totally got rid of them, and has made me get to a place where anything is possible. Now, all of these ladies have told me this, especially Judymay, on more than one occasion. But I'm also a great believer in divine timing, and I'm a great believer that we get to a certain place in our life at a certain time for a certain reason. And we've got to be ready to accept what goes on for us. So this week I want you to take some time to think about who really inspires you. Who is the role model that you have in your life? Who are you wanting to become? And not somebody else, not kind of, the female version of Tony Robbins or whatever it is, but what version of you do you want to become? Because as we know in the world today, the sun's coming out really brightly now, so I'm going all dark. We know in the world today that because we're living in this 4D world, we know that where our focus is what we're going to bring to us. So I really want to encourage you to be very mindful of what you're focusing on. The books that all of these ladies have written, because Marie's written an absolutely amazing book as well, all really talk about the same sort of thing on a different level and at a different depth. And they talk about how we can achieve whatever we want, we just have to put our mind to it. So I really want to encourage you to take that time, as I always do, because you know that I love for you to take time and to focus on things. But I want you to take that time and I want you to actually work out what is it that you're doing to stop you. Because it will be you that's doing it to stop you. And I then want you to think about how you can reprogram that, how you can change it. All of the ladies that I've mentioned have got material out there which will totally help you do this. So Judymay Murphy, Sleeping Your Way to Success, Your Life Only a Gazillion Times Better, amazing book. Gabby Bernstein, Make Miracles, again, amazing book. And Marie Forleo's, the name escapes me right now, but again, amazing book. Had to be everything that men want. Oh, it'll come to me again in a minute. But anyway, Google them all, check them all out. These three women are three major influences in my life at the moment that totally get me to rock. So, if you want to do the same, and if you want to create the energy that I live in every single day, then you just need to make a decision that you're going to go out there and do it. The problem that a lot of people make, and the problem a lot of people have, and the mistake a lot of people make is they don't decide. You need to decide, you need to get it somewhere visual, write it in your journal, and then commit daily to that decision. Because only by doing that will you make the changes and will you create the life that you really want and deserve. And in the words of Marie, live the life that you love. So pop some comments below. I'd love to hear if this video motivated you today. I love making these videos for you and it's amazing to share. So whatever you're doing this week, make it phenomenal, and just remember, you can always achieve whatever you want if you put your mind to it and if it's important enough. See you next week.